Let's connect with Yasir Rawjee, who is the MD and CEO at Glenmark Lifesciences. Thank you so much for being with us on ET Now. You have surprised when it comes to your margins, and that's largely been led by the cool-off in raw material prices. Do you think that we will see margins sustaining around this 30% plus level?
If the margins stay, if the raw material prices stay where they are, then we expect that the margins should continue along the same line.
What are the chances that raw material will stay where they are? Because ultimately, I mean, it's anyone's guess which way China is opening. What is your understanding?
So our visibility, at least in the first half of this year, is pretty solid, right? I think this should continue at least for this year. You know, given the overall macroeconomic environment, the oil prices kind of stabilizing, gas prices in a much better place, which impacts solvents. And overall, you know, the raw material environment, I think, should stay stable for the remaining part of the year. But you never know. I mean, the world is a very different place, right? Things keep moving around. So something could impact. I mean, all I would say is that, you know, in the worst situation, we've still delivered, you know, 31%. So if things improve, I think things will only get better.
What is the status on the stake sale plan? We hear that private equity folks are talking. We understand that large corporates are talking. Is there a stake sale plan, yes or no? First, let's clarify on that.
Okay, so let me tell you now, right? According to SEBI regulations, we hit a 3-year window in July of next year. Okay, and Glenmark Pharma, the parent, has to dilute another 8% of their equity. So that work is on. We are also participating in that process. Beyond that, whatever has to happen will happen through Glenmark Pharma. We really don't know, right? They are the parent, they'll be making those decisions.
Looking at a strategic investor, if at all, what will happen? The money is not going to come in the company. It will be at a parent level where the promoter holding will come down, if I understand the structure of the deal.
Yeah, the promoter holding has to come down within a year's time. They have to dilute another 8%. Like I said, they're at 83% roughly. And that has to go down to 75%.
But what I'm also trying to understand is that because of this transaction, one way promoters can bring their holding down is that you increase the equity. If you increase the equity, money comes into the company. Second is that in this case, the promoters, they sell their equity and nothing changes at Glenmark Life's level. So what is your understanding of the nature of the deal? Will money come into the Glenmark Life or will it be a promoter deal?
No, it will be a promoter deal because we already generate enough cash, right? Okay. I mean, we generate about 350-400 crores of cash each year. So given that kind of situation, I don't think we don't need money in the company, you know.
Understanding of the API cycle per se, because that in a sense is the most important question, irrespective of what Indian pharma companies are trying to do, and they are doing some great work, including your company. It's the API cycle which ultimately is driven by the push and the pull of pricing and commodity cycles.
Yeah, but the one thing that needs to be remembered is that all APIs don't fit in one category. I mean, we are working more on the non-commodity APIs, and these, you know, are less cyclical, I would say, right? There is a constant demand. We are in the chronic space, and being in the chronic space in various therapy areas like cardiovascular, CNS, pain, as well as you know, diabetes and so on. The cyclical nature of this API business that you're referring to really doesn't hit us that much. Okay, there's a little bit of it. You know, our business is not a quarter-on-quarter business, but then at the same time, you know, we don't see these big and small upswings, right? The big upswings that are normally seen in this space.
I just want to get back on those stake sale plans. What we understand is, and I'm purely trying my luck here, that Chris Capital has joined Nirma, PAG-backed Sekhmet Pharma Ventures as well are in the final rounds. Would you be able to confirm any name?
No, because this is driven largely by the parent. You'll have to contact Glenmark Pharma for this, right? I mean, we're participating, like I said, in the process, right, to explain the business and so on. But who comes in, who stays in, who, you know, continues is something that is a decision that is made by Glenmark Pharma.
This quarter you witnessed strong growth in CDMO as well, and you've have 2 new CDMO projects as well, as we understand, starting in the second half of the fiscal. What is the revenue potential of these?
So we are pretty bullish on CDMO, and there's a few reasons here. We've got a very strong portfolio. The life cycle management, opportunities are huge. So are the specialty opportunities. Now, given the fact that we've got so many opportunities and plus a lot of traction in the last 2 to 3 years, which is now coming to fruition. So we are pretty clear that the 150 odd crores that we do now will, in about 4 to 5 years' time, get to around 600 crore. And the contribution, which is today 7-8% to our revenue, will eventually go to about 15% of our overall revenue 4 to 5 years from now. A lot of traction, like I'm saying, both on specialty as well as life cycle management.